It wouldn't be a stretch at all to say that Mace Windu is one of the most powerful Jedi Masters that have ever lived in canon, a revolutionary in many respects among the Order, creating his very own lightsaber form known as Vaapad, an offshoot of the Sith-favored Form 7, the Ferocity form. Mace Windu is also one of the only Jedi Masters shown capable of defeating Darth Sidious in blade-to-blade combat. While Windu's skill with the blade were noteworthy, his skills and advancement in the Force was legendary. He was known to possess the rare Force ability as Shatterpoint, meaning he could literally use the Force to assess an enemy's weaknesses, as well as their strengths, and then attack them and target them appropriately. Mace Windu originally hailed from the world of Huron Cal, where he was taken as a young boy to be trained by the Jedi Order. Originally, the child had belonged to Clan Windu. Unfortunately for a young Windu, his parents were killed in the dangerous jungle of Huron Cal, but the young child would find true purpose among the Force-wielding order of the Jedi Knights. Mace, however, was not the only Windu that belonged to the clan. The famed Jedi Master had a brother that, even according to Mace Windu himself, outclassed him in raw Force ability. And today, we will discuss Karvaster, the Conqueror, the most powerful Windu. This is what Wikipedia says about Karvaster. Born on Corran, Karvaster's early life seemed ordinary, though he was more in touch with the Force than is ordinary. Vaster's people, though, did not refer to his powers as the Force. Instead, they called it the Jungle Mind, the ability to feel the jungle around them and use it to their advantage as warriors. It was the Summertime War which forever changed Karvaster's destiny, as well as the destiny of Huron Cal itself. At the age of 14, Karvaster saw his whole family massacred by Jups, also known as jungle prospectors. How Karvaster escaped is a mystery. The stories among the Huron Cal people were contradictory, and Karvaster himself would not discuss how he escaped them. Vaster was abandoned in the jungle without weapons, dogs, people, or food, and supplies of any kind. For most beings, it was a death sentence. However, Karvaster survived on his own far more than a standard year, even flourishing. In the jungle, he learned all his impressive Force powers, but lost the ability to form normal speech like most other sentient beings. Mace Windu would later suspect that it was the price Karvaster paid for his survival. He traded the power to wield the Force for his humanity. Eventually, Karvaster would escape the maddening jungle, a new animal entirely, and with his newfound power, took control of the Windu clan. Years later, Mace Windu would return to his homeworld, bringing with him tales of the Jedi Order, tales that Karvaster would hearing of the survival of his brother in Mace Windu, although the two of them would not meet. Not yet, at least. The younger brother of Windu became fascinated with the tales of his older brother, even modeling himself and his guards after the Jedi Knights. Vaster and his guards created grand custom shields, while the Jedi created their lightsabers. They used their shields as swords, while the Jedi used their swords as shields. By the end of what became known as the Summertime War, Karvaster believed that himself and Mace were the last two survivors of the Windu clan. As the Clone Wars began, Jedi Master Deepa Billaba was dispatched to Huron Cal in order to help out Karvaster, whose forces were nearly destroyed by his enemies. The two of them fought valiantly together, with the jungle corrupting Deepa. Mace Windu in large part blamed himself for Deepa Billaba falling to the dark side of the Force, as he believed it was his mastery of Form 7 lightsaber combat, and therefore the form that he taught his apprentice, that led her down the dark path. That, along with the influence of Karvaster. After Deepa and Karvaster were victorious, they attempted to draw Mace Windu to the planet, Deepa Billaba attempting to teach her master the darkness of war, and Karvaster wanting to meet his long-lost brother and famed hero of the Jedi Order. Eventually, Mace Windu managed to turn his fallen apprentice back to the light side of the Force, but over the course of his journey on Huron Cal, fought his brother several times, losing twice, both times due to the fact that he was not able to activate his lightsaber. During their final confrontation, Mace Windu admitted that on his very best day, Karvaster had the potential to defeat him in hand-to-hand combat. However, Mace was smarter and more refined, and was able to use the Force to eventually stop Karvaster, nearly killing him. Vaster was then taken to Coruscant and was held in the Jedi Temple, His wounds were healed and his hands were ultimately saved, as Mace had previously damaged them. Though he was placed within the detention center in the temple, he was later charged with crimes against civilization, a category that had not been invoked since the time of the Great Sith War. Eventually, Karvaster was freed. However, it is unknown how. What is known is that he was freed sometime after the collapse of the Republic and the Jedi Order. In Legends, it was described that Karvaster was larger in frame than Darth Vader, and physically as strong as any member of the Jedi Council. If he had received proper training, he would have far eclipsed the power of Windu, potentially being on the level of an Anakin or a Sidious. Kar doesn't make the darkness, he only uses it. His inner darkness is the reflection of the darkness of this world, and it darkens the world around him. Internal and external darkness create each other. That is underlying unity of the Force. Being left for dead in his youth in the hostile jungles of his homeworld, Vaster survived by drawing upon the darkness in the jungle, which fueled his tremendous power. He displayed exceptional force ability for having no formal training. Mace Windu himself, after doing battle with Vaster, stated that the latter's raw power in the Force put him on par with Yoda or Anakin Skywalker. Not everything that Karvaster did was dark in nature, however, as he was shown to use the Force to heal his friends and allies. Vaster also possessed incredible physical strength and lightning-fast speed and reflexes for a man of his size, which made him an excellent hand-to-hand combatant. He was trained in the use of vibro shields and bladed weapons, making him a frightening opponent in battle. However, he never had the opportunity to master a lightsaber. But that was the tale of Karvaster, Mace Windu's very brother, and the individual that Windu himself said was on the level of a Yoda or Anakin Skywalker, the Chosen One, in terms of raw force potential and ability. But did you know about Karvaster before this video? And what are your thoughts on him now? If we could get this video to 4,000 likes, that would help me out tremendously. As always, my friends, may the Force be with you.